Good morning, fellow traders, fellow PineScript coders, fellow crypto enthusiasts, and YouTube lurkers. If you are in my corner of the internet, I would like to welcome you with a great big good morning. And that's about all you're going to get from me because I just woke up and I'm on my second cup of coffee. Didn't even have time to put some clothes on, but I wanted to come on here and I wanted to just show you something that I observed this morning that I missed before. If you are into Bitcoin like me, then you might be wondering where it's going. And I don't watch news. I don't care about the news. The news doesn't matter to me. Only in very, very few instances does it have an effect on the market. And other than that, you're just wasting your time. If you're looking at the news and you're trying to predict which way the market's going to go, it's only going to give you a headache. I don't follow anybody else. I don't look for tips from anybody else. All you see from other people is them explaining away why the market moved after the market moved. So whatever happens today in the market, you'll see later on someone's going to say, oh, it's because the US raised interest rates or Israel bombed Lebanon or some crap like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm up to date with current events, but I don't watch news. It just happens to hit my Twitter feed, and no matter how much I mute those accounts and ignore them, I can just never get my Twitter feed to be just purely what I want to see. Yeah, don't listen to the explainers because the explainers will only explain to you after it happened, and there's just confusion, okay? What I suggest is you learn how to trade from somebody who knows how to trade, and generally that's going to be a very expensive course, but you run the risk of getting scammed. That's a whole different topic. But you have to find someone that you can trust, you learn from them, and then you master their strategy, and then you take what works for you and you adapt that to what works for you. So that's what I did. Now I don't rely on anybody, and it works out really well. Anytime I try to take a tip from somebody else, I lose. And I'm sure you've had the same experiences. So that being said, I'm going to be here telling you what I think Bitcoin is going to do, and you should completely ignore what I had to say because I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, this is not financial advice, and you need to form your own opinion. So if you haven't formed an opinion on Bitcoin by yourself on your own right now, then do not watch this video, okay? Because it's only going to mess with your head, because you're going to hear me say one thing and then you're going to hear another guy say another thing, and then you're going to be not knowing what to think. Okay, so you need to know what to think first before you go and look at what other people are thinking, just in case you miss something. All right, that's acceptable, but be careful, it might screw with you. You're probably just better off just shutting everyone out and just trading on your own and just waiting for the setups to come to you, and you'll get a better flow that way. So anyways, I want to show you two coins. I want to show you Bitcoin and I want to show you Monero, because I believe those are the only coins worth talking about in this space. Everything else is just garbage. So even Bitcoin is becoming garbage. It's being attacked on all levels, but hey, we got a good run so far, right? It's taking us to a new place. And anyways, if you look over here, these purple candles, this indicates bearish divergence, and I'm on the monthly time frame. So between this last impulsive move in the last Bitcoin cycle and the current move we've got here, there is divergence between these two moves. And you see, previously we've had that, okay? We had it here, and it didn't matter too much. It just kept going. So we were able to just ignore that. And let me just pull up the MACD over here and hide this table so we can look at this MACD more clearly. So we're here, the MACD is growing, and the divergence here occurs like near the peak of this right here. So we're close, and then we come over, and then we're close to the MACD. So here, like, you know that the MACD can grow a little bit more and divergence will be gone, right? And this was after a proper bear market. Okay, we didn't make that high until 1 year after the halving. Fast forward to 2020 and we get something similar. We got this move. The first one was like, okay, maybe it will turn around. But then that second candle really said no. All right. So divergence is tricky, right? Because it can always disappear. And that's why I have this indicator that highlights points where it did occur and then disappeared, because I want to know how much I can trust this divergence when I'm trading. Okay, and this was the same thing. It was a year after the halving. Okay, now here we are in 2024, and then we had the halving somewhere around here. I haven't marked out another chart also with all my orders, so I don't really want to show you that, but somewhere around here, and this was unnatural. If you've been following the market, we shouldn't have made a new high until 1 year after the halving. Okay, but here we are, and you could say that was partly due to the ETFs, and that could be true, but we're here now. So let's not explain what happened and why we're here. We're here, and we are close in the MACD, but we've been sitting here for a while. Okay, we've got 4 bars, 5 bars, monthly divergence now. 5 bars, we've been rejected from making a new high. We did, but we barely did. Everyone is expecting 100K here, and I think we're gassed out. That's what it feels like to me. I've been watching this market since 2017, actually since 2015. I've been trading the market since 2017, Bitcoin specifically. Before that was Forex. I've been trading for 10 years. But now this market feels really gassed out to me. And then I just noticed this monthly divergence. I didn't see that before. And before I noticed that, I had already been looking at this as something where we're going to get a big move down to 48K. All right, I know I'm not the only one saying that, but I'm just showing you my reasons and my logic here. Okay, somewhere around this area, this is a Fibonacci level, and it's a liquidity level. It's one of your order block things. One of my students told me what that is. That's what this area is. So you have all of these confluences right around 48K, and we could even probably pull up a liquidity chart and see where all of the leverage longs are sitting. I would imagine, I'm just gonna pull it up right now. Okay, so we're looking at this liquidation heat map, and okay, this was the level I was looking at. There's lots of leverage, not that much. I've seen more leverage than that in the market. Okay, so there's leverage down here at 50K. So it's possible we come down here and we short squeeze these out, or long squeeze, whatever you want to call it, and we wick down a little bit more. Maybe. Nah, I don't think we'll go down to 41. No, it's too low. It's possible. Anything's possible. So 48K exactly is where like the price would come down here. It would get rid of all these leverage longs, and because those leverage longs are going to be margin called and automatically closed by the broker, they're going to have to sell Bitcoin to cover their calls, and that's going to push the price a little bit lower. So I'm thinking 48K. All right. So because of that bearish divergence in the monthly, and it's been going on so long and there's so much weakness here, that's where I think we're going with Bitcoin, and then we'll turn around. Okay, so if we look at it on the daily here, this is a Fibonacci drawn from this last impulse up. We already came down, touched off the 382, so I can remove that, and then we came and jumped off the 0.5, so I can remove that, and the next one is the 618 sitting around 49.05. So I might not actually even go for 48. I could go a little higher because sometimes those levels tend to get front run and you miss them even if it's by a couple points, and it's terrible because when that turns around here, it's going up. It's going straight up like crazy. That's what I'm looking at. And then we have this little, you might call it a trend line, but it's more of a pattern line for me. So this is a correction. Okay, we're in a correction. That's why we've been going sideways this whole entire time. And what can happen in this correction is we've got a wave right here, wave right here, and this is your standard correction, right? Well, we can go and do that again. We can go lower, make an A, B, C, D, and then this could dip down just a bit and then go up. We could also, the correction could be over. We could just be coming down here, getting ready to blast off, come up, and then go. I don't think that's likely. However, that is a possibility I will be looking at. And then, corrections are notorious for being very difficult to predict. Honestly, we could be going sideways for years, and that's happened in a lot of Forex pairs, but I don't think that'll happen with Bitcoin due to the underlying dynamics of it. Okay, and I honestly think that we're gonna come down here, we'll probably go sideways, and then we'll dip, and it might be a quick dip. Maybe like World War III will break out. Okay, that's like a big news event that causes sell-off. But World War III hasn't broken out yet, and I'm telling you right now, this will probably happen. So what is it? Is it the news or is it the price? All right, what's telling me that's going to happen? Okay, is it something that, like, it could be any news event? It's just going to be some big event that happens and it drops Bitcoin down. I mean, we already had the Mt. Gox. Germany's selling their Bitcoin, the US is selling their Bitcoin, and this is the move that we got. Okay, so you don't know what news it's gonna be that's gonna move the market. It's just gonna be any event, and it doesn't matter. So don't even bother looking at the news. You just have to look at the price and figure out where do you think it's gonna go. All I know is this is the highest probability of this happening. And if that does happen, I'll be prepared for it with a limit order sitting down here, and I'm going to buy that shit up. Okay, because I know based off of this move, we got to move up, we got a correction, we got to move up, we got a correction. There's a fifth wave in here, and that could be a big ass extended wave. Who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna just ride that up, and I'm gonna do the same thing. We're all looking at 100K, and previously I had predicted based on the miner costs that above 100K would be the best price for miners in the Bitcoin network. And then there's the hype and euphoria, so that's always going to take Bitcoin a little bit higher, just like we get here. But the actual cost of one Bitcoin that it costs in electricity to mine, so the real cost is roughly $100,000. So let's see, I can pull it up right now. And this isn't a perfect algorithm, so let me see. I'm not a miner. Electricity. I should have called it electricity. So this is the Bitcoin price based on electricity. This is an open source chart. You can look at this. And what I did is I just grabbed some top miners, the cost of the miner, the terahashes it produces to secure the blockchain, and how many watts it uses in electricity. And then I found the average worldwide cost of electricity per kilowatt hour, and I just ran the calculations. And this, where is it? Okay, so it's right here. You just hide this one. I thought I had made it a sub pane indicator down here. Oh, and I'm on Sats USD, so it's actually showing the 1 billionth of a set or 1 millionth of a set of what a Bitcoin is. So if I move over to Bitcoin, we should see US dollar. Okay, there we go. This line actually indicates the real cost of Bitcoin. All right, so daily Bitcoins, 24 times 60 times Bitcoin reward. So I've added in all the halvings here from 50, 25, 12.5, 6.25, and 3.125. That's where we're at right now from April 20th, 2024. Okay, and you can tell, you can look back and say, hey, okay, up here we were overbought, and then it finally leveled out to the real cost. The miners were making tons of money here, and now the miners are losing really bad. Okay, Bitcoin needs to get to $140,000 USD in order for the miners to start making break even. That's what it costs on average a miner to mine one Bitcoin. Okay, $140,000. That's what it costs on average. That's the cost of electricity. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. So that's why I'm very confident that Bitcoin is going to go up, or this network's not going to work because no one's going to be able to mine it. So either the miners need to shut off all their CPUs, and then the hash rate will go down, and it'll be easier to mine a Bitcoin. So this will go down because this is based off of the hash rate, how many people are actually trying to mine Bitcoin right now. And you can see I pulled that data in here, right here, Bitcoin, sum of fees. Okay, I'm also grabbing the fees that they're paying, and I'm adding that into the equation. A daily cost, where is it? It's been a while since I've looked at this script. Bitcoin miner hash rate right here. Request security, Glassnode, BTC hash rate. So if we can just pull this up on another chart. So this is crazy. This is all of the computers and their special chips that they've made just for Bitcoin. This is what they're doing. And you can tell this only goes down if miners turn off their miners. No one's turning it off. So some people are operating at a loss, or they're selling their reserves that they made. Okay, and it looks like it's gonna go up. So we don't need to worry about that, and we don't need to worry about people not securing the network or miners turning it off. It looks like people are only going to add to it, and in that case, this price will only stay the same. So electricity, if that stays the same and the miners stay the same, then this will stay the same until the next halving. Okay, the next halving it'll go to 280. But there's going to be more miners coming in. Electricity is going to get more expensive unless we adopt atomic energy, or someone decides they don't want to profit off people anymore. So unless we develop some kind of free energy, this is only going to go up. Okay, and you can tell here it just goes up slowly over time. And then the halving just doubles it. So we had the halving here and it doubled it. So that is the real price of Bitcoin. So yes, in the short term, I'm bearish just to 48K, but if we go down there, I am loading up. And if we don't go down there, then I'll be watching for some kind of reversal within this pattern. This structure right here, like we're in a correction. We have these two wicks down here, and then you can grab this up here. This is a very easy pattern to identify. So we're watching what this does. This can come all the way down to 52, it can bounce, and it might show weakness, and it might go a little bit lower, okay? If it just bounces here, I'll wait for a little sideways bull flag, and I'll jump in there. If it turns around right here, and I don't catch it, if it just decides to go up right here, I'll wait for it to clear right here, and I'll jump in right there, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. Those are my trading setups. You should always have a trading setup. Otherwise, when something happens, when these big moves happen, you're not gonna be prepared for them, okay? You get something like this, or you get something where we go and we just just down here and then come back up. And then finally the third, like whatever the fourth option is, it does none of this stuff and it just confuses the crap out of all of us. But the idea still remains the same. I'm buying down here, okay? And I'm gonna buy if I see a proper breakout up here. And then if I see anything in here, I'll be buying. It's simple, because I know, based on just this fact alone, okay, that Bitcoin should be worth more. At least that's the idea. There's so many other fundamentals you can look at that show you the value of Bitcoin, but there's a lot of other factors I'm looking at. So my confidence is not shaken at all with Bitcoin. I don't know what the news is. I don't care. I don't care who's selling it, who's buying it. Honestly, I wish nobody was talking about it. So just use it, stack more, and just live free, okay? But that's where we are. And whatever is going on here is a little messy. I'm not going to get into that. I'm looking at long-term right now. Yes, I'll be taking short-term intraday trades when I see a setup, okay? And the only other coin I want to talk about is Monero. And if you don't know about Monero, you should really look into it. It's not a coin that you can change. You can trade on your exchange, most likely. It's not really even a trading coin. It's an actual currency. It's fungible, it's anonymous, and it works. So there's not a lot of exchanges on here that actually offer a Monero anymore because of those features. The governments don't like it being anonymous. They can't control it. They can't monitor it. So they just tell people to get it off their exchanges. Everything must be KYC, know your customer. Privacy is not illegal, okay? I'm in my room over here. You can't come in here if I have the door closed. I'm in my house. It's private. There's nothing illegal about that, okay? And you go, oh, what do you have to hide? It doesn't matter. It's not illegal. What does anybody have to hide? What if, like, why does the government have to do things behind closed doors? If they have nothing to hide, why can't they just speak freely in the open public? So there's private matters. Privacy counts. Privacy matters. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And we just need to support, or we need to educate ourselves when it comes to these types of topics. And I've gone deep down this rabbit hole. I'm not an expert, but I know that this is the one coin that you can use and be safe. And it's actually very easy to use. It's a little difficult when it comes to liquidity, but look at it. They've delisted this coin from almost every single exchange, and it's not dead. If you look at 99% of all the other altcoins out there, they're all down. They're all 90% down. Monero is kicking and alive. Like, this is what I wanted to show you. Besides all the privacy stuff, but that's the reason why it's so strong right now. I'm considering taking my Bitcoin holdings and just putting it all into Monero, because look at this pattern. Like this, and then we're going sideways for all this time. It's stable. You want stability, it's stable. Everything bad that could have happened to Monero has already happened. It's been attacked. It's been delisted. What else do you want? It can only really go up from here. So if you're looking for a alternative trade to Bitcoin, look into Monero. Everything will be private on this network, which is so sweet. The only difficult part is actually buying it and selling it and trading it, finding the liquidity to manage your orders, okay? So this would be like get in and hold it for a while. But when you look at it, and if I go and I pull up my other indicator that compares against Bitcoin, you go here, my script, Bitcoin King. What the heck is that? What's that stupid line? Okay, probably because I'm on the weekly. It should be drawing versus BTC. Okay, there we go. I turned it off. Okay, all right, yeah, there we go. All right, so we have the market cap of Monero is 2.8 billion. Total market cap is 2.2 trillion. And total TVL on Monero, I didn't realize they even had total value locked. That's interesting. So I don't know why 173 billion is locked on Monero. I don't think so. That, whatever that's coming from, is wrong. So what this is just, it's XMR versus BTC. You can see right here, XMR versus BTC. And this probably is a pair, but sometimes there are no pairs like this. So we did XMR USD divided by BTC USD. Well, when you got division like that, the USD just disappears, and now it's XMR over BTC. Simple math, right? So now we're comparing these two. Oh, if this is going up, it means XMR is gaining strength. If it's going down, it means Bitcoin is gaining strength. So if we look at this chart, really, and these little bands are just RSI bands. They're helpful for trading. So what I like to do is I like to figure out the best way I can stack the most Bitcoin. And sometimes it's buying shit coins. So in order to do that, you need to draw a chart comparing this Bitcoin versus this shitcoin and see if the shitcoin is going to get stronger. I'm not saying Monero is a shitcoin, but that's generally what I do. Okay, so here we have a chart, and like here would have been a good time to sell Monero. Just based off of what I'm looking at right now. Okay. But down here, it actually looks like we've been in a downtrend against Bitcoin for a long time. So typically, this is why you might not want to keep your big stash in Monero, because we've been in the downtrend. So until this trend turns around, until we break out or I start going up, I guess I'm not going to do that. All right, I was considering it, but now I'm looking at it in real time with you guys, whoever is watching this. And we got a trend line here. This is on the weekly though. So if this happens, it's gonna take a while. If we go down to the daily, hold on, let me fix this line. I got all my lines set up, so we got weekly down to 15-minute. So if we go down to the daily here, we can look at this a little bit differently. We've got this trend here, and we're getting a breakout. Okay, we are getting some strength with Monero. However, it's a weak breakout. Maybe it's going to go back here and retest. It looks like maybe retest. Either that's going to be a down move in Monero or an up move in Bitcoin. But either way, one's going to gain strength and the other one's going to weaken. And then maybe we'll go up. So that's something to watch out for. And what I could do is I could even just set an alert there, right? Drop a horizontal line, add alert. And if we cross this, so if we get a daily candle above this, then I'm going to look at this to buy again. Or I could wait and buy at these lows. Something I'm looking at. So those are the two coins I'm looking at. It's basically wherever Bitcoin goes, everything else is going to go with it. Crypto's easy. It's the only thing you need to look at. This is the only one that I've seen that's non-correlated from the rest of the market. So it could be a fun one to trade. There are a couple other coins on here that might work. Let's see. This is another indicator that I like to use that actually helped me predict the top of Bitcoin, the local top. And this is, what's it called? Losses, addresses, percentage. Percentage of addresses with realized losses out of all addresses currently holding the asset, which is Bitcoin in this case. Kind of hard to read, but basically when it's higher, it means more people are losing money. And when it's down low, it means everyone's in profit. Up here is a good time to buy, and down here is a good time to sell. That's what I've been doing. Whenever it comes down here, it's time to sell. Like, it's one of those indicators like, hey, check out the market. It's time to sell. So when we come up here, it's going to be time to buy. Very simple. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that's going to help you not lose money. I hope it's going to help you make some money. And if you make some money, just, I don't know, send me a tip or something. Or leave me a review, shoot me a like, subscribe, whatever, anything helps. So I hope that helps you guys. And that's my market analysis for today. Peace.